I have a question. What if the pressure you're feeling isn't a sign something's wrong, but a signal that something new is trying to get in? Is it chaos or is it coherence, rearranging itself faster than we're used to? This week on 5D New Earth News, we're riding the threshold between two converging timelines, the bold ignition of the fire horse year and the reflective still point of an annular ring of fire eclipse. High frequencies are pressing into the field, stirring nervous systems, unveiling distortions, and amplifying choice. We'll explore how planetary breath is syncing with the body's internal bandwidth, what the fire horse archetype reveals about movement, will, and timing, what the eclipse really reveals, not shadow as danger, but shadow as mirror, contrast encoded with choice, and what it means to choose alignment, coherence, instead of reaction. Welcome, luminous beings of Earth and beyond, and yes, that means you. Even if you're holding paradox in one hand and your phone in the other, if it feels like timelines are rubber banding, dreams are leaking into daylight, and your spine might secretly be a tuning fork, you're not malfunctioning. You're harmonic. This is 5D New Earth News, not news as usual, but resonance you can actually feel. No doom scrolling, no savior scripts, just signal clarity, breath-based insight, and the occasional mythic mic drop. We don't just tell you what's happening, we listen for why, in the breath, the field, and the harmonic memory of your body. So let's begin as always with the pulse of the planet and the cosmic breath beneath the headlines. Because before anything can make sense out there, it has to ripple through here, the space between breath and choice.
The planet is pulsing with a strange clarity right now. Not clarity like answers, clarity like pressure revealing pattern. We're in a window between solar ignition and lunar reflection. The fire horse charging in from one side, the ring of fire eclipse searing a mirror on the other. This isn't chaos, it's the breath in between. Right now, the Earth's field feels like a body made in hell. Nervous systems stretch just shy of overwhelm. Timelines popping like old bones, cracking back into place. Emotions moving faster than logic can label them. And yet, there's a calm under it, a deep coherence just beneath the static. This is the cosmic breath, the long inhale before the next expression, the exhale that doesn't rush because it knows you're listening. The question is no longer what's true. The question is, what's aligned now? And are you still resonating with the thing you said yes to 6 months ago? This eclipse cycle isn't here to steal your light. It's here to show you what's flickering, what's real, and what's just smoke from a fire that burned out already. So pause, breathe, feel your field. Can you sense what's leaving? Not with a scream, but with a bow? And can you let it go without labeling it wrong? Because the pulse of the planet isn't asking you to sprint. It's asking you to sink, not rush, resonate. All right, breath synced, field calibrated. Now let's flip the lens from what you are feeling to what the Codex is reflecting. Let's open this week's field lens. Codex Spotlight, Stillness as a Scalar Vision.
This week's Codex Spotlight is about something that feels borderline illegal in 2026. Stillness. Not zoning out, not checking out, not manifesting your way out of discomfort. We're talking about the kind of stillness where movement remembers its source and stops pretending it's in control. The Codex calls this scalar vision, not because it's chill, but because it's where truth gets visible. Scalar doesn't mean bigger. It means patterns show up across everything, from your cells to your soul to the solar field. It's not something you chase. It's what emerges when you stop pushing. Stillness in Codex terms isn't passive. It's the moment the field folds in on itself and reveals what has always encoded underneath. It's where noise becomes shape, where you realize, oh, that pressure wasn't chaos. It was alignment, waiting for me to shut up. Stillness is the part of Codex that doesn't shout. It mirrors. It waits. It doesn't try to convince you. It just shows you what's already vibrating in plain sight if you're still enough to see it. Stillness doesn't just reveal pattern. It prepares the nervous system to recognize the archetype in motion. We paused, absorbed, and decoded. Now we move not with impulse, but with patterned intention. So let's step into our next current, archetypal movement, where the fire horse breathes and choice shows up as direction.
The fire horse inhale, the eclipse exhale spread. The field's shuffling fast right now. So we pulled 3 archetypes from the breath deck to mirror what's in motion. Take a breath. Feel which one starts moving through you. The fire horse, raw will, uncontainable momentum. The part of you that would rather burn down the plan than wait for permission. This archetype charges ahead, not because it's reckless, but because it refuses to live out of alignment one more day. Shadow edge, mistaking motion for clarity. Integration cue, let movement serve coherence, not ego. The obscure sun, eclipse logic, light interrupted, not to blind, but to reset. This is the part of you that can sit in the contrast without labeling it wrong. It teaches. Shadow is not failure, it's feedback. Shadow edge, avoiding the burn by bypassing the lesson. Integration cue, what the light doesn't show, the silence will. The tuning fork, your spine, your signal, the breath-born bridge between impulse and integration. This archetype doesn't fight the fire. It entrains with it, then chooses direction based on resonance, not reaction. It asks, can you stay attuned while the field changes shape? Shadow edge, staying still out of fear instead of clarity. Integration cue, attunement isn't inaction, it's aligned reception. So, which one's breathing through you right now? The fire horse sparking the charge? The obscure sun revealing by contrast? The tuning fork calibrating the chaos into signal? Pause, feel, let the archetype show up in your breath, not your mind. Because archetypes don't just teach, they move through us until we remember we are the mirror they were always looking for. Archetypes shapes us, but the field shapes everything. Let's zoom out. This is field dynamics.
The collective is buzzing, not chaotic, just loud. When the nervous system of the planet hits this kind of pressure, we don't need more speed. We need more coherence. Right now, timelines are folding in on themselves. People are being shown distortions not as punishment, but as choice points. It's not about being awake or asleep. It's about what you do when the pressure spikes. Do you collapse, or do you sink your breath to the larger field and become part of the resonance wave? Because coherence doesn't come from control. It comes from signal. And the field is sending one right now. Can you feel it? Words talk, symbols transmit. Let's drop into this week's glyph, the spiral eye.
The spiral eye is sight in motion, not just seeing, but tracking. It doesn't look straight at the world. It moves with it. It follows the pattern as it unfolds. In this eclipse window, when clarity comes in layers and timing is everything, the spiral eye reminds us. You don't need to know what it is. You just need to stay in orbit long enough to let it show you what it becomes. Don't chase the answer. Spiral toward it. Close your outer eyes. Breathe once. Let the spiral open inside. Symbols echo, but stories land. Let's drop into the field and witness how this week's resonance is already moving through real lives. This is Resonance Witness.
Sometimes it starts in the dream field, and this week it did. Someone shared a dream this week. They were a rider at the edge of a vast desert, lungs full of fire, no map in hand. They didn't know if they were chasing freedom or fleeing a version of themselves they'd outgrown. But the horse beneath them didn't need certainty. It just moved toward the heat, because sometimes the way forward doesn't wait for clarity. It responds to ignition. And sometimes resonance lands not in sleep, but in choice. A listener wrote, "This week I said no to something I've wanted for years, and it felt peaceful. Not because I don't want it anymore, but because I could finally feel it wasn't mine, not this version of me." Sometimes clarity arrives through the quietest eclipse. And then there are moments so simple, they almost go unnoticed, until they ring in the body like a bell. The eclipse passed over Antarctica, seen mostly by penguins, missed by most of the world. Later that day, a child stood in a patch of sunlight and whispered, "It made a circle in the sky. Now I know what my yes looks like." She didn't explain it. She didn't need to. She didn't see it. She felt it. For the first time, she recognized alignment not as a thought, but as a yes she could trust in her bones. The field is speaking, not just in visions or headlines, but in how we breathe, choose, and rewire under pressure. Which part of you is witnessing this now? We've tracked the field. Now let's turn inward to the part of you that already knows. This is Message from the Mirror.
The light you're chasing isn't out there. It's the part of you that stayed soft when everything else tried to harden. It's the choice to breathe when reaction would have been easier. It's not asking to be perfect. It's asking to be present. The mirror isn't judging. It's just returning your shape, clearer, sharper, and somehow softer than before. You don't need to become the light. Just stop covering it. Pause. Feel the weight of your spine. Now soften your chest. Inhale, as if light is filling you. Exhale, as if you've got nothing to prove. You're already aligned more than you know.
This has been 5D New Earth News. Not news as usual, but resonance you can actually feel. Until next time, stay soft, stay listening, and keep choosing coherence when the world forgets how. We'll meet you in the breath. Like, subscribe, and click the bell for more 5D New Earth news.